can you give me a quick introduction about yourself and your business here at Gills Creek Marina?
Yeah, well, my name's Jerry Godsey, and my wife Ann and I run this property for a fellow who owns it, lives out of town. Have been here since she's been here about 5 years. I've been here just a couple of years since I retired, and it is it's the marina itself is over 50 years old, and the lake is only 55 years old.
Oh wow!
And so it was the dam was dammed up in 55 years ago. I think it was in 65, and before that it was just a couple of creeks and a river that ran down. They built a dam and for electric power. So anyway, it used to be called Foxport Marina.
Mm-hmm.
And about 10 years ago, someone bought it and changed it to Gills Creek Marina. And when they did, there were just a few docks, little kind of floating docks. And recently, the latest owner, the one that we work for, has really come in and put the money into it to upgrade all their slips. So we've gone from a few slips to about 75 or 80 slips a year. Everything's full. A store. We have a little 4-room lodge up on top of the hill that stays full, and then we have our marina store. It's closed right now. We closed it 1st of November, and we'll reopen the store the 1st of April. The rooms will reopen in the 1st of March. Excuse me.
Nice. And so how did you find out about Staple?
Well, we've had. When we started 5 years ago, we had an analog system, an old security system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for what it was fine. But as we grew and we added docks, we couldn't grow the system.
Yeah.
And so, and then we started having a few little, people coming in on a boat out of the water and coming up on a boat and taking fishing poles and different stuff. And of course, we don't want any of that. So we made a commitment to upgrade the security system. So the only way to do that without running wires through parking lots and it was to do it wirelessly.
Mm-hmm.
And our first quote was like $25,000.
Yeah.
That was too much for us to be able to absorb and do it. And so then we went to another company that was more local, and they were probably 15 or more thousand, but didn't include all of the docks.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that was really more than we really wanted to pay. So then we one of the guys that rents a boat slip from us out here, we were talking one day, and he was kind of helping me do different things, and he was saying, well, I've got somebody that I think you might want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And so that guy came down and called on us. He's from Bluefield, I believe, and but he was representing this company that that Nate actually handles as well, but he didn't follow up with us.
Yeah.
He came down, did whatever, but he didn't follow up. So Rick Kelly called around and found another dealer that serviced the same equipment, and it was Nate, and he was in Fairfax. So we called Nate, and he was probably the first person that I've talked to. I understand some of the technology, for somebody my age, normally they don't even use the phone, but I have a pretty good idea. But I couldn't talk to anybody that could explain what was going on or what they were doing in a way that I could understand it.
Yeah.
Nate did. And so anyway, we ended up having we met him online. I talked with him, told him what we wanted to do. We sent him a little plat of the land and told him where we wanted to put some things and do whatever. And he gave us kind of a ballpark. He said we could do it, and he gave us a ballpark. of what he thought we needed to do, and it was reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, so we didn't dot any I's or cross any T's. We just said that's in line, and I trusted him. And so he came down for a day, and he looked at everything, and he came back with a a sketch of everything, where everything was going, and then we locked down on the price, and he sent all equipment in. It was available to us on the phone to consult while we were putting the cameras in, because we did the wiring and the cameras and the hookups and all of that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came down today. He's actually here to finalize everything, but he's now setting up each one of the equipment online so that it's all doing what it's supposed to do. And then really the best part of it, for a very reasonable fee, he is going to service it ongoing. So he can go in online from his place, see exactly what's going on, fix, repair, tell us what we need to do. And I can't tell you how happy I am, because this is something that I could have very easily gotten into, and it could have been 2-3 times what we thought we were paying.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of that going on, and Nate's the real deal.
Now you have like long-term service and everything.
Absolutely,
too.
Absolutely.
That sounds great. So this is kind of a more general question. So when it comes to privacy and security for your company, how is that important, and how does that impact your business?
Well, you know, I mean, it is. You wouldn't think for a little small company like ours that would be a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had someone hack our system and wanted $2,500 to $3,000 to give it back to us.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. My wife scared him to death, and she said, "You cut it back on. Let me make sure it's on, and I'll send you the money." So he cut it back on, changed the password, and she called him back and says, "No, thank you," and that was the end of it. So
wow.
she's pretty slick, but you wouldn't think that, but that's really and so it is important. And so now that we're talking about giving access to all of the, I mean, when on any given weekend in the summer, there's easily 100 people here,
mm-hmm.
you know, and people online, people up in the rooms watching TV, people in the boats that stay on this dock over here watching Netflix, people all over the place now with Zoom meetings and whatever, you know. I will tell you, during this COVID lockdown, it changed things. I can't tell you a number of times a boat pulled up, and they'd say, "Well, we need some gas," and I'd say something, and they go, "Shh, shh, shh, I'm on a meeting." And so they were in their boat on the meeting. So anyway, that's all pretty good. But so it's important. But it's important that the people, we've got 75 boats here, you know, easily, you know, $3 or $4 million worth of boats.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and we're in a time when things are tough, and you know, people come to steal things and do it, and so we want to make sure that the people that are here are secure, and knowing that, you know, that we are doing all we can to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And we've had people, rarely, but some drive off with gas.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
We've had people that have come out at night and hit other cars, because our boat ramp is open 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So people are coming in with trucks and cars and backing in and doing, and we've had people that have had wrecks in here that nobody knew about. Yeah. So now we can, it's going to be more difficult now for that to happen here, and I think that's a good thing for our marina and and our customers certainly.
That's awesome. And so, just one more question: What does freedom mean to you in your business?
What does freedom mean?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, first I'm going to tell you that I was. It means a lot more to me now than it ever has meant to me. Mm-hmm. If you see some of our you kind of know where we stand, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, freedom means everything. I've got 10 grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'm, you know, 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and you know, I'm really concerned about what this world's gonna look like when they, you know, are of age to go do something.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm very, very concerned about about the kids, and this really got my attention this past year on the curriculum that these kids are going through, and
Mhm.
so for the first time in my life, I went knocked on doors for somebody running for school board.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very important, and I am I couldn't even imagine. Um, you know, yesterday, Veterans Day. You think about what we've done over the years. I mean, you know, I would doubt seriously if there's a lot of people, I, certainly younger than you, but it's a lot of people in college
Yeah.
that really know American history of why we came here to start with. You know, it's like we just invaded something. We were getting away from tyranny
Mhm.
and we came here, and and now to kind of see us moving in a different direction. I mean, I'm so it means a lot.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for answering my questions
Yeah.
and for choosing Staple and for showing us your Marina.
Well, I tell you, I would choose them again, and I'm going to refer them to people as well.